Live, my normal stream, a couple minutes late, 1 p.m.-ish live stream. Normally these streams are talking about Freemasonry, which again I do want to talk about today, but this is going to be a shorter stream. The reason being, tonight at 6 we have got the Windsor Detroit Ford fireworks. The fireworks themselves start at 10 p.m., but at 6 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be coming live because that's when kind of the festival starts. What I'll be doing is I'll be here chatting. I'll put a lot of phone up, to show people the festival itself, the people gathering downtown to celebrate. I've been saying before, I think personally, that's my cat, that with the kind of, shall we say, political climate that exists at the moment, events like the fireworks are more important than ever in order to remind ourselves that the bonds of friendship between Canada and the United States are still strong, should still be strong. Political situations come and go, but the brotherly love between our two countries should remain. Chance to celebrate, chance to not think about what's happening in the world a little bit, put that kind of to the side, and enjoy some fireworks. And I'm lucky in that I have the most beautiful view of the fireworks, so why not share that? So tonight, 6 p.m., join us. We'll be live streaming the fireworks festival. The fireworks themselves will start at 10 p.m. So 6 to 10 is just going to be me hanging out, chatting with people, talking, and then 10 p.m. we'll watch the fireworks together. We have one of the best views of the fireworks that you can have from my apartment. So you guys will like to check out the fireworks with me. Hey, Black Raven is here. Welcome, Black Raven. I hope you are doing well. Your travels looked so beautiful. What stood out the most? Thank you, and thank you for being here. What stood out the most? It's a small thing, and it's not even really a Masonic thing. It's just something that stood out to me was I had a layover. So going from the Philippines to Rio, we had a stopover in United Arab Emirates in Dubai for, I think the stopover was like 10 hours, something like that. And the airline gave me a hotel overnight. I guess anybody who has like a longer layover gets that stopover and gets a hotel. And being in the hotel and looking up and seeing on the ceiling, on the roof of the hotel, or the ceiling of the room, an arrow pointing towards Mecca. It just kind of reminded me of like, hey, I'm in a new part of the world that I've never visited before. Because that's obviously not something you see here in Canada, United States, Mexico when I've traveled there. But to be in a hotel room, look up and see an arrow pointing towards Mecca. It was kind of a little moment where it stood out to me and reminded me like, I'm traveling pretty far. I'm traveling somewhere new. So that was really cool. And then obviously the beautiful buildings, the people, the really cool Masonic brothers that I met, all that stuff was really special. So I had a lot of things stand out to me. Masonically speaking, getting to hear ritual in Portuguese, or at least a meeting in Portuguese, was really cool. Sanjay says hi. Hello, Sanjay. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining, as always. To everybody watching this, don't forget, tonight, 6 p.m., I'll start live streaming the Ford fireworks. The fireworks themselves start at 10 p.m. So, hang out with me from 6. I'll show like images from my place of the festival, because I can see the whole festival from my apartment, so you can see people coming and gathering and getting good seats. And then 10 p.m. Eastern, we'll have the fireworks themselves. Fireworks usually last about half an hour, 45 minutes, and they're pretty incredible. So, by the way, if you're just joining, please take a moment, hit the like and subscribe button. The other thing I want to mention, I don't know what my audience is going through, but here in Windsor, we are melting, as is a lot of the world, and obviously Freemasons trending a little bit older in age, do have to be on the lookout for things like heat stroke, heat exhaustion. Here in Windsor, we have a heat warning for dangerously hot conditions continuing from, I guess, yesterday, Saturday, until midweek. Daytime highs through the first part of the week, 31 to 36 degrees, humidex values up to 45. Overnight temperatures, 21 to 25 degrees. Sunday's weather, which is today, yesterday. Today's Monday. Monday, sunny, high of 35. So Environment Canada urges people to watch for early signs of heat exhaustion, headache, nausea, dizziness, thirst, dark urine, and intense fatigue. Watch for signs of heat stroke, red and hot skin, dizziness, nausea, confusion, change in consciousness. Heat stroke is a medical emergency. To stay cool throughout the day, drink water often, close blinds, turn on air conditioning, use a fan, move to a cool public space. That could be the library, that could be the casino, that could be the lobby of your building if your room doesn't have air conditioning necessarily. But find yourself a healthy, cool place to be. And if you are a Mason, not even a Mason, but if you know anybody who's older, doesn't hurt to check in on them, see how they're doing. Maybe they need some help, or just check to make sure they're doing okay and there's not anything that they need. Bring them water if you're concerned for them, but just do the check-ins every now and then, because the humidex is warm. Monday, sunny, wind becoming southwest, high 35, humidex 42, UV index 11 or extreme. Tuesday, a mix of sun and cloud with 30% chance of showers. Wednesday, cloudy with 40% chance of showers. Thursday, cloudy with 60% chance of showers, high 30. Friday, high 28. So it's very warm, so take care of yourself. And that also goes doubly for everybody tonight if you're going to check out the fireworks. Same thing. Bring lots of water. If you have pets, make sure your pets are getting lots of water. And do your best to monitor yourself for signs of heat stroke. Oh, that sounds brutal, Rondo. Thank you for being here, by the way. Hi, Dylan. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. We do these streams usually Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Oftentimes I do 1 a.m. streams as well, where we talk about Freemasonry. This is going to be a much shorter stream because I have another live stream tonight at 6 p.m. Where we're going to be doing the Windsor Detroit Ford fireworks celebration. That will include watching the fireworks at 10 p.m. Well, Dylan, I hope you'll hit the like and subscribe button, and by all means, let me know where to find you on YouTube, and I'll see what I can find. But once again, just reminding people, where Rondo is as well, DC metropolitan area, 95 degrees Fahrenheit. With the humidity, right? Early signs of heat exhaustion can include headache, nausea, dizziness, thirst, dark urine, muscle cramps, intense fatigue, rapid breathing or heartbeat. Anyone with these symptoms is advised to move to a cool place and drink liquid right away. If not addressed, heat exhaustion can progress into dangerous heat stroke. And heat stroke is a potentially fatal medical emergency. Signs of symptoms can include high body temperature, confusion, lack of coordination, slurred words, dizziness, fainting, and very hot or red skin without sweating. Seek medical help or call 911 immediately if you suspect someone has heat stroke. While waiting for assistance, move the person to a cool place if possible, fan them as much as you can, remove extra clothing, and apply cold water or ice packs around their body. Dylan Burrows. Okay, Dylan Burrows, thank you for letting me know. I'm I will check it out, and if you could subscribe here, I'd appreciate it. I'll check out your channel after. But thank you so much for joining. I truly appreciate it. Who is most at risk? Those who are most at risk of heat exhaustion, heat stroke are older adults. So for all our Masonic brothers out there, infants and young children, people who work or are active outdoors, and people with breathing difficulties, heart problems, or psychiatric illnesses. Some medications can also make you more susceptible to the heat. How to stay cool in extreme heat? Staying indoors where there is air conditioning is the easiest way to keep cool during extreme heat. If you don't have air conditioning at home, try a library, movie theater, grocery store, shopping mall, or community cooling center. Other places to cool down include a tree-shaded area, a swimming pool, or lake. Wear loose-fitting, breathable, and light-colored clothing can help. Cool showers or baths can also help keep you refreshed. Avoid strenuous outdoor activities or schedule them for cooler times of day like the early morning or late evening. Best to limit direct exposure to the sun. Staying hydrated by drinking plenty of fluids is also essential. You can also help keep your home cool by closing curtains or blinds during the day and making meals that don't require an oven. I'm going to actually post this in the chat. You can copy and paste this link, I think, as well as on Facebook, just so people can find it and know, because we have a lot of Masonic brothers who might be at risk of stroke, of heat stroke, heat exhaustion, or a combination. A lot of older individuals with different medical issues. That also goes for tonight. If you're coming out to watch the fireworks in person, bring lots of water, pay attention to yourself, make sure you don't end up feeling or suffering from heat exhaustion or heat stroke. Find a way to keep yourself cool. If you don't want to be outside in this heat, then you can always come online at 6 p.m., hang out with me for the night in your, hopefully air-conditioned home, and watch the fireworks from your phone or from your computer on YouTube. The fireworks themselves start at 10 p.m. Hey Courtney, is it hot in Texas right now? Like we're saying, it's super hot here. Oops, I always forget you can't share this stuff on here. But I am doing well. So you're doing better than us, I think. You're cooler than we are right now. Oh, it looks like Iran might be bombing U.S. bases at the moment, which is kind of scary. After the fireworks? Probably nothing after the fireworks, just heading to sleep, I suppose. The fireworks usually go from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m., so... probably after 11, maybe be on for a few more minutes. A few more minutes afterwards. We'll see how it goes. I'm not sure I know for sure yet what I'll be doing, but we'll see. But the actual, like I said, the festival starts at 6, so I'll come on at 6 p.m., but the fireworks themselves start at 10 p.m. So I will hang out. But in the meantime, Dylan, if you have any questions about Freemasonry, by all means, please let me know. I'll do my best to answer them. Or if you just want to hang out, feels like Arizona. Arizona gets pretty warm, I know. Maybe what I'll even do is I'll go out to the street actually and share some videos of the actual festival itself, people getting ready for the festival, what that will look like. just to see the people gathering, because it gets pretty. I mean, even with the heat, my assumption is it's still gonna be pretty packed. So. Nice, Courtney. What does that look like? Is it a parade? Is it a festival? What type of stuff do you guys do on the 4th of July? Who is my favorite singer, rapper? My favorite singer of all time is Janis Joplin. Um, my favorite band is Leonard Skinner. My favorite rapper? I mean, Eminem, Tupac, um, Notorious B.I.G. I don't know. There's a few different options there. Trying to think of my favorite rap song. I don't know. It's tough to say. But I'd say my favorite singer of all time is Janis Joplin. Black Raven. Let me know what's been happening on your channel. Speaking of YouTubers on the channel, we got Black Raven here. I think I just saw something you posted recently, something about stolen content. I didn't check out the video yet. I just saw the title, but it looked cool. So nice. I mean, I still have to make it back to Texas. I was in Dallas on my layover from Dallas to. Well, I flew from Rio to Toronto. I had a stopover in Dallas for a couple hours. It was great, though. It was nice. Oh, congratulations, Masonic Temple Philadelphia. More than 600 people toured their building as part of the Wawa Welcome Area Free Museum Day Festival. That is awesome. BTS, they're from South Korea, right? If I recall correctly. Alazawi, welcome. Hello, how's it going? Thank you for being here. I hope you will hit that like and subscribe button. I hope you and everybody will join me tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern for the fireworks festival. The fireworks themselves start at 10 p.m. Eastern. So basically 4 hours of hanging out. You know, maybe we'll go outside for a bit. We'll watch, you know, people coming or joining us in the fireworks. And then at 10 p.m. we have the fireworks themselves. So it's going to be an absolute blast. Specific song from Janis? Well, I mean, Piece of My Heart, because, you know, you got to go with the classics. But I love Mercedes-Benz. I love Summertime. I love Me and Bobby McGee. Whenever anybody, like political or politician, talks about the importance of freedom or they want to protect freedom, right, my response is always, freedom is just another word for nothing left to lose. Which I guess you can give the credit for that line to either Janis Joplin or Chris Christopherson, but you know, I remember the name. How's it going, Alazawi? I hope that you are doing well, and I hope that everything is going well in your neck of the woods, and everybody is just joining us. If you are new, I hope you hit the like and subscribe button, and I hope you'll join us once again tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern for what's going to be a very, very fun. It'll be a longer stream, because again, we started at 6. I'm assuming most people are going to come on at 10 p.m. to watch the fireworks. But yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Bobby McGee is one of my favorites too. You got good taste in music. Acceptance of the process, refrain. I mean, ownership is usually not a healthy attitude. I always try to take a stoic approach to the idea of ownership, meaning that, you know, to own something doesn't, you don't actually own anything. Right? Like, even your life, you don't really own it. The universe owns it. The universe gave you all the different atoms and materials and parts to make yourself. to make both your body and, you know, your brain, from which you get your consciousness and the idea of the self, it all comes from the universe. And so eventually the universe will take it back. So you might as well not be too possessive of it, but just appreciate that you have it for the time that you do. But understand eventually it's making its way back to the universe. Well, I appreciate that very much. Just sending a quick message to somebody. All right, there we go. But no, and I appreciate your work as well. And I think, you know, things would be a lot better if maybe we were less obsessed with trying to own things and what it means to own things, and kind of allow ourselves to accept the fact that ultimately, really, for better or worse, we don't own anything. I think people will be a lot happier that way. Not to be all Star Wars, but what is it Yoda said, right? If possession leads to I forget how it goes, but this leads to this, leads to this, leads to suffering, leads to anger. So there's, like I said, I think there's a lot of truth in that. Many towns and cities host parade featuring marching bands. I'd imagine so. I love the 4th of July in the States. I think 4th of July in the States is one of the best, kind of most fun and most enjoyable things in, you know, to do. Like, I used to love traveling to the States specifically for 4th of July events. And, you know, the weekend's kind of fun because Canada, July 1st, it's our national day, and then you guys have July 4th. So you kind of, every now and then you'd have a situation where, like, July 1st would be on a Friday, July 4th would be on a Monday. You could kind of extend it, make it a whole weekend of celebration. Celebrating the greatest country in the world, which is Canada, and the greatest neighbor in the world, which is the United States. So yeah, I'm gonna look at the actual quote. Yoda, fear. Here, let me see if I can figure this out. Is this it here? I'm gonna look this up in a second. I'm more of a Star Trek guy than a Star Wars guy, to be honest. So, see what we got. Let's see. Well, so this fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering. But there's another thing where he talks about, like, wanting to own something. And the idea of, if you want to own something, then you don't get it, that leads to jealousy or, the, you know, fear of loss. Is it this one here? Here it is. Train yourself to let go of everything you fear to lose. Maybe this is it here. Right? Because if you think you own something, then you're afraid to lose it. And if you're afraid to lose it, it makes you hold on to it tighter. Whereas if you accept the fact you don't really own anything, and ultimately you're going to lose everything anyways, maybe it gives you more sense of peace. Fear of loss is a path to the dark side. Death is a natural part of life. Rejoice around you rejoice for those around you who transform into the force, mourn them, don't miss them. Attachment, there it is. Attachment leads to jealousy. The shadow of greed, that is what. Yeah, so, I think that is why I love the stoic idea of not believing in ownership, not believing that you own anything, because if you don't believe that you own anything, you don't become attached. And if you don't become attached, you don't become afraid of losing anything, you don't become jealous if other people have something you don't. And if you avoid that fear and jealousy, then maybe you're less likely to go down some dark or negative paths. So, Bandit is now 10 years old, which is crazy. So yeah, so remember that you own nothing. And freedom is just another word for nothing left to lose, right? So, I don't know. Maybe instead of viewing, the idea of ownership, just view things as a gift from the universe. And if you're lucky enough to have this life, if you're lucky enough to exist, then view that as a gift that you don't own, but rather just something you're lucky enough to have even for a moment. And be grateful for it. For who knows, take that for whatever it's worth. There's something very Masonic in that as an idea too, I think, for whatever it's worth. It is awesome. I agree. I love the fact that Bandit is 10 years old. Bandit's right here, lying next to me. I don't think Bandit likes this heat any more than I do, that's for sure. Although in some scary news, I don't know if anybody's been watching the news right now, but it looks like from what I can see, Iran is bombing U.S. bases at the moment. In the Middle East, oftentimes one of the places you will find Masonic lodges active and operating is in fact on military bases. So my thoughts are to any Masonic brethren who may be in danger. Iran attacks U.S. military bases in Qatar and Iraq. Qatar's defense minister says it expected the missile attack and no deaths or injuries have been reported there. Thank the great architect for that. Qatar condemns attack. Like there's, for example, a Masonic lodge on a military base in Qatar, I know that. Qatar has condemned Iran for attacking the U.S. Al Udeid air base, calling it a flagrant violation of Qatar's sovereignty and airspace. Good, Courtney. Please keep me informed. I really want to know. We are assured that Qatari air defenses thwarted the attack and successfully intercepted the Iranian missiles. A statement clarifying the circumstances of the attack will be issued later. Oil plunges 4% as Iran fires missiles toward U.S. bases. Thank God, thank the great architect, no damage, no injury to anybody in Qatar. It's funny because I was in Dubai and the UAE on the same day that Trump attacked Iran, or Trump bombed the Iranian sites. So I was as close to Iran, I think, as you could be without actually being in Iran. Unless you're on the border with Iraq, let's say, or Afghanistan, the other side of it. I was pretty close. The Persian Gulf separated us. So that was kind of an interesting feeling. That's also something, I guess, that stands out in my travels. Again, you realize you really are on the other side of the world in that moment. Even though I felt, completely safe the entire time. But thank you everybody who has joined so far. I truly, truly appreciate everybody who has joined. Like I said, this is meant to be a shorter stream because I will be back tonight. 6 p.m. Eastern is when we're going to start the stream, and then 10 p.m. Eastern is when we're going to be showing the fireworks. So it's going to be a really, really fun time. I hope everybody gets the chance to hang out and join. If you have anything you guys want to chat about in the next couple minutes, jump in. Otherwise, I'm going to end this stream for now. I'll be back tonight. Just remember, we have the heat dome. We have the dangerous temperatures. So drink lots of water. Keep yourself hydrated. And make sure that you are taking care of yourselves and monitoring yourselves for any risks associated with heat stroke, heat exhaustion. Listen to a doctor. Keep yourself cool, especially if you're going out tonight to the fireworks here in Windsor, or if you're doing anything outside. Please make sure that you're keeping yourself as safe as you can, because I don't want anybody to suffer any ill effects from heat stroke at all. And that goes, if you know anybody who's older who might be at risk for heat stroke, heat exhaustion, check in on them. Maybe bring them some water, you know? It can't hurt to do stuff like that. Just check to see how they're doing. The food was great. The food was delicious. Oh, the Grove. Being mean. The Grove in Glenview, one of my favorite places, just posted on Instagram a picture of winter at the Grove with a bunch of snow on the ground. Watching this while melting and sweltering makes me very sad. It's so hot right now. I would give anything to see some snow outside on the ground. Alright guys, I'll see you tonight. Like I said, 6 p.m. is the hangout part. 10 p.m. Eastern is the actual stream part. So the actual fireworks, excuse me. 6 p.m. hangout, chat, stay hydrated. 10 p.m. is the stream itself. So join me at 6, at 10, anywhere in between. It'll probably go from 6 to 11, so it'll be a lot of fun. Alright guys, thank you so much. I'll see you all soon.